please don't lose hope in a reality and a future that is better than the one that we're living right now. Now, I know that for a lot of us, I mean, I'm 31 now, so for a lot of us, this journey of life has been quite heavy. For a lot of you, I know that the journey of life will have been quite heavy. Life isn't short of its challenges, it's not short of its struggles, it's not short of its limitations, but amongst all of the pain and the suffering and the loneliness that we can feel, there's something else within there. There is potential, there is love, there is kindness, there is compassion. Because unless you've lived a really, really challenging life, you will have felt those little moments of love, those little moments of peace, those little moments of joy and happiness and satisfaction. And that is what life is worth living for. Now, you could argue that even the challenges are worth living for because they lead to growth, they lead to new experiences, they lead to things that allow us to explore this world on a deeper level. Because what I want to share with you, and we're going to go into this a bit more in tomorrow's Global Live Peace Meditations, is that there is a story for humanity. Okay, the only way that I can really look at this experience we're having is that there is a story here. And I know for a fact that for a lot of us, we're talking about David at the minute and what has happened. And for him, it was the hero or the heroine's journey. Okay, and I believe in that because when we look at life and we look at these origin stories of things like the Garden of Eden, we notice that there is a blueprint for humanity. Because one of the most powerful things I have done in my life is ask the right questions. And this is what I recommend you do. Now, there's balance, because you can drive yourself insane with asking questions, but asking the right questions allows you to understand your life at a deeper level. When very difficult and challenging times come along, and I've had those periods, and those times actually at the time, I said to the universe, I said to myself, my higher self, I looked to myself in the mirror, and I said to myself, there is no actual reason for this to happen, but the problem is that we don't know what we don't know. And so in those moments, it can be very difficult to lean upon the intelligence of the universe, to lean upon our own intelligence, but I highly recommend that you do so. Because even when life looks extremely dire and it looks like you don't know how to get out of the situation you're in, or it doesn't look like anything positive is happening, or you feel lonely, you feel scared, you feel fearful, it's all about observing what could this be presenting to me. Because I truly believe that life has an undercurrent that is unconditional love. And so that unconditional love is what we all know at a heart level. Or else I truly believe that none of us would see a point in this experience. And, there'd probably be a lot more of us who would choose that way out. So there is, I believe, within each of us, there is a message within us that says, what is the purpose of what is happening right now. Okay? And so, like with what has happened to David recently, on a higher plane, it could be that look at what happened. It made people question because of the work that he did and the light that he did and the stuff that he presented to the world. When that story came out, even me, it stirred me. It stirred me to action. It stirred me to share the words that I shared, which then ultimately led to doing the Sunday Global Live Peace Meditations, which ultimately is now, tomorrow we're going to do our third one. So life works in very mysterious ways, and sometimes we don't quite know where the path is leading. But from my heart to yours, if you're willing to walk the path, if you're willing to ask the right questions, if you're willing to explore the true nature of our reality, then I guarantee you that you will find your way. Okay? Tomorrow's live is going to be called Humanities Journey Back to Paradise. Okay, because there is a theme within our earthly experience which is telling us that within us is a intuition, a messenger system which allows us to navigate our life as long as we know how to listen to it. Okay, and I believe that that's the individual path, that's the individual journey, but there is a collective journey, and that collective journey is back to paradise. Why? Because so many people want to get back onto the land, so many people want to see goodness and love and kindness and joy restored. You know, when people observe that a person is coming from a place of decency and goodness, and they're considerate and they have a quality of character, they respond to it, myself included. You know, so when we observe that there are individuals on our planet who are willing to be and hold the mantle for the rest of humanity, we're inspired by that, or at least I will share that I'm inspired by that. So I want to encourage you, don't lose hope. Don't give up hope. If you see around you that you see the same old things happening, the same old politics, the same old systems and stories running throughout humanity's present moment, then trust that if you're here and I'm here and our journey, our mission, our purpose is to get back onto the land, to reconnect with nature, to restore our planet, to give our children a future that is worth it, right? To give our children a future that is worth it. And we might think that it's too big, it's too grand, it's, you know, they'll never let this happen. You know, I believe intrinsically in the path of humanity back to love, back to abundance, and back to peace. Okay? And what does that look like? It looks like a reconnection with the forests, a reconnection with earth, and a reconnection with what was described within our historical texts, our ancient cultural texts, like the Garden of Eden, Dilmun, etc., etc., things we're going to cover tomorrow. So I just wanted to share this video with you so that you know you aren't alone. Okay, if you want a world that is filled with limitless abundance, I'm stood right here with you. And the pathway to that is love. It's through our own personal growth and our own personal journeys, and then it's through humanity's collective journey to unify together once more. The cultural whirling rainbow prophecy is a very beautiful prophecy. If you didn't catch last Sunday's live, it's one which speaks of unifying all nations, all peoples, and all creeds. Okay, and so that is where my journey is taking me, and ironically that speaks of it wonderfully. So if you don't know about tomorrow's live stream, then it is at 11 a.m. Pacific time, 2 p.m. Eastern time, and 7 p.m. British Standard Time. We will be doing 7 global live peace meditations, just like David Wilcock used to. We're going to be live at the exact same time that he was, which is what I've just shared, and we'll be going live for 3 hours and 33 minutes. So if you're willing to join us, if it's something that excites you to be able to, at the very least, do global peace meditations and come together to use the meditation effect, then please come and join us. You are more than welcome, and to have your presence will amplify that effect, and of course we can have a beautiful conversation and remember the beautiful work that David did and talk about the beautiful future that awaits us all. So this has been James Malins. Thank you so much, guys, for watching this video. Take care of yourselves, and I'll catch you tomorrow in the live. See you later.